fungus on the walls. Thought you could only find that in Kentucky.
Not my joke. No, they're laughing aloud. They're laughing at my joke.
It's probably echoes.
Probably. It's delayed, right?
Yep.
Alright, gather around. Alrighty, so this is our only working cistern on the property. It is 15 feet across and 35 feet deep. The first 15 feet of this well is going to be that rough hewn rock that you see. That is hand-laid limestone. So if you know anything about the bourbon making process, limestone water is imperative. That water flows over that limestone, and that limestone extracts out harsh minerals such as iron, and then puts back a natural pH balance, and puts back softer minerals such as calcium and magnesium. We want palatable water for our palatable bourbon, so that's perfect for us. So the last 20 feet of this well is shale rock or bedrock. That rock is extremely tough to cut through. So back in the 1800s, you didn't have anything like laser cutters or jackhammers to cut through that rock. They had to use their hands, pickaxes, and if they were lucky, dynamite. Now, there's no blast marks down here, so we don't believe they got lucky, which sucks for them. So this photo was taken in 2015 after our 30-year hiatus. So we had to completely drain this well to make sure that it was still structurally sound and to make sure that Ben Holladay wasn't hiding anything or anyone down here. Good news, no havens. Bad news, no treasure chests. Good news, no bodies. So like we're good. We're kind of hitting even right now. So let that naturally refill back up. This well holds 45,000 gallons of water. This we use about 1/9 or 3,000 gallons as each day for our distillation process. But that is actually where all of our springs are situated. Those little dog houses are pump systems to pump all that natural spring water into this well for holding. So tomorrow I'll come back up and we'll be right up at that. I mean, all of this is wet rock, but it'll be right back at the 45,000 gallon mark, and we'll be ready for tomorrow, which is really great. So this is our original Holladay spring. Some famous guys that you might have learned about in elementary school, like Lewis and Craig or Lewis and Kelly Clarkson. I think so, something, Clark? Yeah, Clark or something. So during their expedition through across America, Lewis and Clark stopped at this land in 1804 and charted it as the best place to water your horses due to the pure limestone water coming out of the limestone springs. So when Ben Holladay was trying to find his next enterprise, he got a hold of those charts and saw the limestone springs, and him being from Kentucky, he goes, I can make bourbon with that. And that is why we are here. This spring is actually the largest spring box that we have on our property. So we get the majority of our water from this, which is pretty cool. There used to be a Missouri white oak growing out of this, like at a 45-degree angle out of the mouth of this, which is also really cool. She has since been felled, but her stump is still there. It's petrified. Oh, wow. So this is where we get all of our brand new barrels. We roll them all the way across here, and we lay them on that slab over there, where they'll get misted for 30 minutes each day, because that conditions our barrels, because we want to get them used to the natural expansion and contraction process that they'll go through in the rick house. If we take a brand new barrel and pour our distillate into it without conditioning it and throw it into our rick house, the first expansion or contraction will go through, it'll crack, and that is what I like to call a catastrophic crack. So all of that alcohol will end up on the floor, and that is what I like to call alcohol abuse. Oh, it's brutal. We have to prevent it as much as possible, so that is why we condition our barrels. If you guys want to go up and look at our well, at our spring, it's very beautiful. So the small house right behind you, that is our Rick House A that was built in 1901. That is what I mentioned earlier in our event center. Before we renovated it, that could hold around 1,000 barrels. But now that we converted into executive offices, we stripped all those ricks out, and that's what made the tables down there. So now there's only it can hold around 200 barrels because there are ricks in the attic. I like to say that they're not aging anything in there. That's what they've told me. But they're executives, so they have their secrets. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Behind that house, there's a Rick House B. And it could hold 10,000 barrels, and it was built in around 1930. This is where all of our 10-year bourbon is being aged, which is very exciting. And then our Rick House C, this is our newest Rick House on the property. It can hold around 12,000 barrels, and this was built around 1940. This is where all of our 6-year bottle and bond and our Rick Houses are being aged. Alcohol in there and it just explode. That is actually a byproduct of the liquor evaporating inside the barrel. So when that barrel ages, that liquor will naturally start to evaporate. It'll settle 1 mile in the air and 1 mile radius around a location. And it's very sticky and it's very heavy. That is what we like to call angel share. So since it is so sticky and heavy, it'll start to settle on everything. Houses, trees, plants, people. I'm kidding, it won't settle on people. But that is actually, that sticky liquor residue will actually attract this fungus that we like to call distiller's mold. It's not real mold, I promise, but it is completely harmless. Do not worry about it. However, I might have been around 6'5" when I first started this job. I'm sure it's completely unrelated. Do not worry about it. So the distiller's mold is actually how police would find moonshiners during Prohibition. They would go out to a certain point, and if they found distiller's mold at a mile radius, they knew that someone was distilling, and they would raid every house and structure between that point. So this next place is the last place you can't take any alcoholic beverages, or you can't take any photos, unfortunately. If you want to leave your beverages there, you can. There's also a trash can that you can put it into if you want to follow me on in.
You know, it's just a...
Yes.
Yeah.
We saw. We're aware.
There's no spelunking.
It's like 20 feet. Oh, wow. Look at those. Straight right there.
Alrighty, so this is our oldest structure on our property. This was built in 1838. Half of our still house was built in 1839. And just for representation of how old we are, the town of Weston was established in 1837. So we've been aging right up against the town of Weston, which is really cool. So before Ben Holladay bought this property, this was a meat packaging facility. So if you heard any sad moos at the still house, that was the slaughterhouse. This is where they used to hang and refrigerate the meat, because this cave acted as a natural refrigeration for that meat. All of these beams are all original, so you might see old screws and old nails in them, which are pretty cool. So this building and half of our still house are on the National Registry of Historic Places, so we can't really do much to this building, to the structure. We can only make sure it doesn't collapse, so that is why we have a newer kind of cement dome on top. This was built in like the 50s, so it's new to the building, it's not new to us. So this is the only temperature-controlled rick house that we have on the property. This is because this is not an aging rick house any longer. This is going to be a finishing or a resting rick house. So what does that mean? So over here on these ricks, these are all of our Ancient Cave series that are going to be released next year. So that is basically, if you're not familiar with our Ancient Caves, that is our secondary finished bourbon. Alrighty, so everyone grab a glass. Like I said, before you drink it, we're gonna listen up. So, a lot of people like to do this thing with their bourbons. Don't do that, that's a wine thing. We're drinking bourbon, not wine. When you remove your hand, and then you're going to put that bourbon in that bowl of that glass right here, and then you're gonna swivel it around. You can smell it from the top of the glass. So once you're done, once you're finished with smelling it, giving that nose, you're going to take a small sip of that bourbon, spread it all the way across your palate, because that warms up your taste buds. If you shoot it straight back, you're going to blow out your taste buds and essentially ruin any flavor profiles that you could get from the spirit, or any flavor, or any tastings that you do after that. Burnt citrus at the end of that. This is my personal favorite of our bottle and bonds. Like I said, this is 100 proof. If you also look, you can see all of that chart of where we pulled our barrels from. Sorry,
Oh, so that smells a lot.
I would not
Smell that. That smells amazing. That smells amazing. Holy cow. Very floral.
Yeah.
All right, does everyone who has some... what?
That smells really good.
This is soft red wheat.
Yes. These are the first. That is the first one. This is the second.
Has a better smell.
All right, I like to do the same thing with this just to get the most out of my tasting. But if you don't want to do it, yeah, you have to appreciate it. You have to kiss her. She loves it. Sorry, I'm putting in my order for
That's good.
It is good.
That is
it has great notes. A lot of baking spices.
And this hits at the back instead of the front.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't hit as soon as you drink. It hits the back. Did you get some too? You better hurry. She's gonna put it away.
So Rick House
Ooh.
is going to be essentially our foolproof, our
Yeah,
cast
I'm scared
strength,
about this
our
one.
barrel proof. So that means these the ones that you tried first are 100 proof. Because that is bottle and bond. Bottle and bond has to be 100 proof. These are going to be anywhere between 118 to 122 proof because they are full proof. They are not proof down. This is my personal favorite.
What's that one coming at?
This one is 119.8.
Ooh.
So this is my favorite of our red wheat. I'm not a big fan of our bottle and bond red wheat. I feel like it's a little bit muted. You get a lot more flavors of that
Oh, I'm
wheat
scared now.
and that
Wow,
corn, that
this
like
is really
sweetness
good, so.
from this one, even though it's higher proof, than you do here. I feel like this is louder, this is a little quieter. Does anyone want to try it?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a silly question.
You want some baby?
Can you get me down there? Thank you.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, she smells amazing.
Doesn't it?
Oh my
You get
god.
like the butterscotch.
I think this has got to be the best smelling bourbon.
It does have like an extremely different
Aroma.
than
Yeah.
any of the bourbons we've had.
Like this is candle worthy.
So what do you guys think about that one? Yeah, I think it's the best.
Oh wow.
So now we're gonna try our by far. This is our Irish cream. This is made
It
in
is too hot
Cork,
for this
Ireland.
drink.
It has to be made in Ireland to be considered an Irish cream. This is the first farm to table Irish cream on the market. And it has 10% more Irish
good,
whiskey
but-
in this product than our competitors. We get all of our whiskey from the Middleton Distillery in Ireland, which also creates whiskey for a very other famous Irish brand that I like to say rhymes with Jamesman.
Jameson. I got that one. I got that one.
I'm gonna pour this one for you.
It's the same thing we're trying.
So anyway, back like the marketing plan. Wednesday morning.
All right, everyone grab one. Who wants one?
I want one. I want one. Though I'm slightly concerned it's going to be heavy. Oh, she smells like caramel
Oh, it is bomb.
and cream.
I love it.
Alrighty, with this is the end of my tour, unfortunately.
Oh my.
But I am going to leave you guys off with a bit of wisdom that I always like to leave off with my tours. So, if anyone tells you the right way to drink bourbon, tell them to shut up. Because the right way is your way, no matter if you like it neat, you like it on the rocks, you like it with water, you like it in a cocktail. You don't like it at all, that is fine. If you don't like it, at least you tried it. That's awesome. All right, cheers to you all. Thank you for having a great time with me.
Cheers.
Double fist Trisha.
There's two more.